Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Iron Sheik 84 here for some more WWE Champions action, and wanted to stream a bit of the Lash-Out Showdown tour. AK6, thank you very much for being the first person in chat. Now, I originally was gonna stream the Lashley tours, the limited time tours as well, but I'm not going to be able to get very far in those, and I didn't really think it would be all that exciting to see all of like 5 minutes of matches, so I just did those offline. But AK, I hope that you are having a good showdown so far. Now, I don't know exactly how long that I'm going to be streaming, dependent on how well the showdown matchups go. But we'll see what happens. So, I tried a match or two earlier, didn't really get to it, but let's see. There's Powerhouse, Velveteen Dream, who I don't have. I have Fandango, I have Lana, I don't have the Apex Predator Orton, I don't have NWO Big Show, I don't have Mickie James, I don't have the Trickster Lacey, I don't have Tech Cena, but I do have Showboat Randy, I have Tech Randy, and I have, can't see all of them, I do have Trickster Big Show, and according to, let's see, alright, let me see if the solo contest or something has a breakdown for us. No, there isn't. Or here, maybe it's here. Nope. So on the Showdown Fest, let's see, winning 250 matches will get you an appreciation bag. So I'll see how far I can get. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I'd like to get my one let's see. Switch to Walt right now. Opponent unavailable. Opponent unavailable. There we go. Oh. Oh, great. Please don't tell me I lost all my health now. Opponent's been tagged. Can't get in. Wasn't that lovely. Opponent unavailable. Opponent unavailable. Alright, well there we go. Usually once you get the first one going, then the rest of them aren't too bad. Okay. Well, unfortunately, if I hadn't cascaded so many times, this would have been... Match 1 would have already been over. There we go. And match 1 will be successfully finished as soon as I pin him. So for today's sparkling water, I went with grapefruit instead of lime or lemon. All right. So there we go. Like I said, first match done. 249 to go if I'm going to be able to get there. If I'm able to get there. Alrighty. So let's see who else I can get bonus points with. There's Ember Moon. Let's see. You know, while I'm here, I may as well. I did post about this earlier. Usually I read these out beforehand, but... So let's see, here's all the bonus points that you can get. So... I might just copy these into an Excel so that it's easier for me to refer to them. Okay. So there we go. That's a lot easier to read for me, and hopefully for you too. Crap. Come on. There we go. So, actually, let me do this. As always, I joke around. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So I'm only speaking for myself here, but as of right now, I don't have Bobby Lashley, don't have Beth Phoenix, don't have Kairi Sane. I do have Lana, and we just saw that one match, so I've completed that. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let's see, it's a no-fill. So I don't have the Apex Predator. Alright, so I have the Viper, I have Legend Killer, I have both of these big shows, not the NWO. I have MVP, don't have Mickie James. I do have Ember Moon, I have Lacey Evans, and then I have all the Cenas except for the Tech Cena and the PH Velveteen Dream. So, of course, I'm going to try to maximize the amount of points that I can get out of these. And hopefully here... get our bonus points with good old Ember Moon. Let's see who has he's got the highest notoriety. Opponent unavailable. Opponent unavailable. There we go. And like I said, if it seems like it's going to be there's going to be too many refreshes, I'm just going to go back offline. Because I don't think that's particularly entertaining to anybody out there, including myself. There you go. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday so far. I took my mom out on a couple of errands and just, you know, here and there for some fun. Dad unfortunately was at work, couldn't come. Mrs. Sheik's over at her sister's, but we went and had Korean barbecue for lunch, and I had plenty of beef belly, and my stomach is happy. Alright. So, just get back to my little thing here. Points for Ember Moon. So, that's it for the big point people, or big point women. So, I gotta do 5 with Showboat Lacey, and that'll do it for my women's points. And then I think I'll switch to Rhea Ripley after that for the +1 with Walter. Provided I can keep this pace going. All right, so switch to Lacey Evans. There we go. So we got 178 here. Switch to 151 here. So 153. There we go. All right. No yellow matches, unfortunately. That's fine. I'll get one here. And provided the game doesn't lock up, the match is going to be over now. There we go. Alright, forgot to send out a message to my faction mates, but yeah, there we go. So, 1 of 5 done with Lacey Evans now. Alright. There we go. I'll have to check that real quick. I'm not 100% sure. I'll just do that. Well, so I know I mentioned about getting out of League 16 the other day. I went ahead and maxed out Zombie Austin to 210. So I got 2 more to go, and I know that he's probably gonna be my defense guy. And then it's either gonna be Carmella or it's going to be Bailey, but I forget which one of the 2 it is. But for right now, that's what I'm gonna set. I might change it to Walter, but we'll see. But that's a very good question. I should have checked that earlier. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I do too. So I have I might change it to Big E and Bailey, only because they complement each other very well. But yeah, let's see. Set defense. Yeah, so Austin and Bailey. So you know what I'll do? I will switch it to Biggie Langston and Bailey. Just make sure that he has. Nope, he does not. Move charge, because I'm probably going to be using him here anyway in a second, so I may as well put this back on him. So I think I was going through the stipulation tour earlier. There we go. Well, it's not just that. He's the only wrestler that I have that has the stun ability, the anti-stun belt. So that always definitely comes in handy. And let's see. I forget under which one of these it is, but where is. There we go. That's going to be 60% chance for blue. That's going to be a good setup right there. Does he have any coaches that would come in handy for him? Should check that. I'll go ahead and put Rhea Ripley on there too. There we go. That should be good for right now. Boom, set. There we go. Oh, yeah, trust me, I always, you know, and I don't know if you've ever noticed this, AK, but Stephanie McMahon gets more dodges than any other character that I've seen in this game. I don't know if that's intentional or it's just something that I've noticed, but out of every single wrestler, male or female, she gets the most dodges out of anybody. Yeah, I would have started this right at the crack of well, I mean, in Central Standard Time here in Texas, it starts at 2 o'clock. I believe I just was about finishing up lunch, or I was still at lunch whenever the showdown started, and I actually tried to do a match or two just to see how bad how bad it would be finding an opponent, and it was pretty bad. So I finally got one with Fandango, but then I wasn't able to seal the deal. Unfortunately, for some reason, I had the worst, absolute worst luck finishing off a match with him. Unfortunately, so couldn't really do much of anything. Let's make sure it was something. Okay, so armor, 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 and then of course I need to open up this slot for me to get the maximum benefit out of it. But yeah. It's one of those things, you only have so much, it's like, of course, I always talk about it, you only have so many coins, so many tokens and whatnot. I really want Fandango to go 5 stars, but I also want Zombie Kane to go to 5 stars, and I also want to make my Masters of the Universe Warrior 5 stars. Now, Warrior is 100% ready to go to the next TU, so he's gonna get it first. But I mean, definitely, I'm gonna get Fandango up there, and hopefully one of these days I will get that last slot open and run the optimal double armor setup for him. Opponent unavailable. There we go. All right. All right. So this will be match number 3 with Lacey. There we go. Of course, there's a cascade there. Alright, I will go for that purple match before I go for the finisher. Hopefully this will be enough. There we go. There we go. Alright, yay, I got my 1 match with Fandango done. So up to 3 out of 5 with Lacey. Got my Deputy Dango 1 done. Alright. The Orton and the others, I'm gonna probably have to hold out till tomorrow. And kind of hope that I can find some lower defenses after I hit the after I max it. But let's see if I can get a match in. Cool. If I can't, then I will just call it a day. All right, Robo Cena is a no. Carl Anderson is a no. I'm gonna try to. I think he's a. I think that he is a very, 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 very solid tier 2 character. And, yeah, I mean, I like him, so I'm going to give it a shot. There we go. If nothing else, I'm going to take him to 4-star silver. I mean, why not? There's only been a couple of characters that I kind of, like, I just got to 3-star, and I was like, okay, that's it. Road Dogg was one of them. I did not care for that character at all. And I wasn't about to waste my time, you know, pumping the TP and, you know, it's like in coins into him. I also just realized I swapped around Lacey's moves on the Blitz, so she could have a lower score, and I probably should have done that. Hey, Brink1908, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Iron Sheik 84 Showdown stream. Alright, so please, please, please don't do another gem match other than these two. Please, 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 please. Alright. There we go. Playmaker for the win. Take a look at my handy dandy little spreadsheet here. So I got 1 with MVP done. And I'm on my last Lacey Evans, and then I'll be done. Yeah. Alright, no worries, AK. You have a wonderful evening. Best of luck with the rest of Showdown for yourself. Alrighty. Okay, first thing before I forget, switch to a more optimal move set for her. There we go. All right. Yeah, I completely forgot. I'd put on her weakest moves because I was doing the blitz. And switch back to Mr. Walter here. Oh, Howdy Brink. Yeah, I recognize the name. I do appreciate you joining the stream. I do appreciate you joining. So, I don't know if you're watching any of the YouTube videos or whatever that I've posted in the group chat, but yeah, this is what I look like. This is what I sound like. And this is my play style. Alrighty. So there we go. There you go. Yeah. Okay, oh, I guess that was... Oh, actually, I guess I was already done with all the Lacey ones and didn't realize it. Because I did not get any bonus points. I kind of hate that I can't see the rest of them down there. Yeah, that was... Yeah, looking at the website, yeah, that was it. So... I am going to switch to Rhea Ripley for, like I said, for the bonus. I have no idea what her optimal setup is because I haven't used her yet. I literally haven't used her. Increase your purple damage. I guess I'll do this just for right now. Might as well at least have him do something. Yeah, I don't even know if this is the optimal setup. I haven't really like looked into her, but may as well just do this just for the simple fact that I'm gonna be her red moves are gonna be filled with Walter's, hopefully, right off the bat. Yeah, but Brink, how are you doing today? How's your how's Showdown going for you? Actually, I'm gonna put that in there. I feel like it's just gonna be a recycling fest here. Doing this. And There we go. She's not optimal, but at least she's usable at this point. So there we go. Alright, Hogan. Can't do that. I do not want to face Sako. There we go. Can we face Macho? There we go. Hey man, Assassin's Creed sounds like fun. I know I played the first one a bit, but can't say I'd be sitting here lying through my teeth if I told you that I am 100% familiar with the whole series and all the, and this and that, but I did play the first one way back when it first came out. I can't really remember too much about it, but I did have fun. Alright, so he's going to use yellow match there. Alrighty. Go ahead and just do that. Just some purple there. Alright, thank you very much for not swapping out Macho. But yeah, trust me, I know, I took care of, I helped my mom take care of some store errands this morning since, obviously somebody's has got to be at the store, so my dad was there, and, then after that, I mentioned this earlier, so for anybody who watched this, it's just a repeat, but, I took my mom out for Korean barbecue, and I ate a ton of beef belly, so my stomach is full of beefy goodness. And then I had some errands to run here and there too to take care of, and of course groceries and whatnot. Typically I reserve that for Sundays, but with it being Easter and every place being closed, I wanted to make sure I got that done ahead of time. So yeah, I'm starting Showdown a little later than I normally do, but I am hoping that it doesn't take too terribly long for me to max it. There we go, Chef Doug. Yeah, my goal is to max this in 2 hours or less. So hopefully that'll be the case. And then of course tomorrow, I may or may not stream tomorrow's, but I'll see how far I can get with getting the 250 matches in. Realistically, is that gonna happen? That'll remain to be seen. But I am at least gonna attempt to max both days. But yeah, the quest games are a lot of fun. So kind of a peek behind the curtain. Like the older you get, it's like I have spare time. I'd be sitting here in line and saying that I don't have any spare time, period. But, of course, when you have a lot more responsibilities as an adult, I only have so much time. I have 50 things to do in this block of, free time versus when I was younger and it was, hey, either video games or TV or movies, and that's it. So, in my spare time, I kind of, unfortunately, video games kind of fell to the wayside. But now that, I take streaming as my me time, and it's like I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I like I like games that are in the vein of Assassin's Creed, but unfortunately sometimes I just didn't have the 40 hours, 50 hours, 20 hours, or whatever to put into a game the way I used to. What's funny is there was one time, I forget which RPG it was, but I was, and I used to be, and I mean, I still am, even though I don't really play them anymore. But I was a huge fan of RPGs, and what happened during college was I started a game, and I forget which game it was, but I started a game, and with finals, with work, with this and that, I didn't play for 3 weeks or something like that. And when I got back, I had absolutely no fucking clue where I was, what I was supposed to be doing, or anything of that sort. And then I got mad because I was like, "What the hell?" I don't want to, I was about 17 hours into the game at that point, and I was like, "Oh, screw this! I don't want to go back and start from the beginning." So so I kind of quit playing after that point. All right, so things are going semi-smooth here. So there you go. I really don't want to face Sako. So I'll go for my namesake in the Iron Sheik. I can't wait to get my own Sako built up, so I can tear through these showdowns like it's nothing, but for right now, that's not gonna happen. Alright, I got a yellow match, thankfully. I think after this, I'm gonna refresh my browser real quick. Go. And hopefully this will be winning match right here. Alright, sweet. I'm pretty sure this is more than enough to take out Iron Sheik here. Alright, once this match ends, just do a quick browser refresh. Go. There we go. Alrighty, let's get back into it. So for anybody wondering, whenever it gets a little bit jittery like that, so there's something called an Opengl error that you can get, and it causes the game to just lock up, and you lose automatically. So in the interest of that not happening, me losing all my health on my characters, I do a browser refresh every 40 to 60 minutes. Alright, there you go. Hopefully this will be a round 2 finisher for me. Of course he gets a crazy cascade. But it's a no consequence. I'll go ahead and sacrifice those red gems. So, funny story I have. There was either a SmackDown taping or a Raw taping or something like that in Dallas, and I got up to take a bathroom break, and Ron Simmons was there with a Make-A-Wish kid, and so I saw him as I was walking by, and I could see that it's like that he was there with for a specific reason. So I didn't go up to him. I didn't bother him for asking for an autograph or a selfie or anything like that. But I did. I do remember seeing like a bunch of people trying to like flag him down, and I was always like, like sure, like I know he's a wrestler and you guys want a photo or something, but is this exactly the most appropriate time to do that? So that's my Ron Simmons story. Mr. Hardy. Fortunately, no yellow matches. That's okay. Oh, well, I couldn't have gotten that last round. And there we go. There we go. Hardy is done. So that's not too bad, doing 300 and something to 400 and something thousand damage. Turn 2 to 3. Cruising along here. Now, hopefully I don't hit a wall at any point. Alright. Zombie AJ is unavailable. Let's see. Can I take it? No taker. Alright. The wall has started. Those 5 S's come at you quick. Yeah, I'm from the... I live in Texas. Yeah, so... I know you didn't... I know you weren't specifically asking for this, but... originally, I'm from Afghanistan, but I grew up here. So if you're wondering, that's where Shamsullah comes from. Shams means light, and then Allah means God. So light, the light of it's like the light of God's sun, or the light of God is how Shamsullah translates. But yeah, I lived in Texas my entire life. Yeah, I know a lot of people ask me this too, by the way. I've never actually been to Afghanistan. I don't particularly have a desire to go there either. I'm very happy being here in the U.S. Alright, there we go. Got the yellow match first turn, so I'm very happy about that. So he's gonna get his immobile. Yeah, and also as another side note too, if you're watching any of my videos and see me talking to my wife, my parents wanted to make sure that I didn't forget where I came from. So I am fully fluent in my native language of Afghanistan, which is Dari Farsi. Now there's two. Given some today I learned lessons here. So there's two main languages in Afghanistan. There's one language called Pashto, and there's another one, and then there's Dari Farsi, and I speak Dari. Let's see. I'm hoping that this is enough to take out. All right. Yeah, I don't think he's kicking out of this. Unless he somehow gets the mother of all cascades. Yep. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Let's see. Who would I rather face? No on Kofi Kingston. Absolutely not. If I'm gonna face an Austin, I'm gonna want to do it with Mela as well. There we go. Alright, so I did remember to put Woods back on him, didn't I? Crap, no I didn't. Oh, that is bad. And Daniel Bryan's on. Come on, click off. Oof. Daniel Bryan's on Lana as well. Ooh. Oh well. I screwed up. There you go. Oh, cool. I wish my wife was here. She's from the Netherlands as well. What's the place? I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. She's from the Rotterdam area. Hold on, I have it written down somewhere. Okay. Okay. I know. I'm completely. I'm gonna. I know I'd be butchering the pronunciation of this, but do you know where? Okay. Do you know where that is? Okay, so I can make 7. Okay, yeah, so that's where my wife's from. Yeah, so my wife and I actually met as kids, and we didn't see each other again for like 20 something years or whatever. And then when she came to visit her brother, who I've been friends with since he moved here a little over 2 decades ago, whenever she came to visit him, we just reconnected, kind of hit things off, and got married from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I forget the name. I mean, I'm sure if I told you, you know it. But I did go to visit her once in the Netherlands. Unfortunately, when my well, he would have been my father-in-law, but I guess he technically is. I mean, I don't know how you want to. I don't know what terminology you want to use, but unfortunately, he passed away. So I went before we got married. Uh, we did. We went to some fish or some like here in America we call them like flea markets, but there's like an area with like a bunch of food stands and things like that, and I had the whatever you know whatever that smoked fish that you eat kind of it's not raw, but you know like you eat it whole with the onions and stuff on top. So I had that, and then we went to a couple of other places. Yeah, the herring, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. All right, so I lucked out. Okay, so thank God I lucked out and won this match. I really shouldn't have, based on the fact that I didn't have my MP trainer or Daniel Bryan on here. And also, I should get that on ASAP for my showdown defense. Let's see. While that's doing its thing. Alrighty. Alright, so before I forget, we're going to take a short break. Talk about the Netherlands. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I had him on there because I was doing the blue tour thing. And then Lana has it because I was, again, doing the blitzes with her. Alright. DB, there you go. Off of Lana. Maybe one of these days I'll get some affiliation belts and I won't have to swap people back and forth so much. Boom, there we go. Alright, so we are taking a break. Like I said, just a short one. Crap. There we go. So we went to Belgium here. Skip forward a little bit. Let's see, we're at the beach and all that stuff. I'm sure you know exactly what this is, but we went to this area right here. Walked around, so that's Mrs. Chic right there. You'll see her in some of my videos. Right now she's at her sister's. Yeah, marked call, yeah. So we did that, and then, so we had some fried fish. This was the thing I was telling you about. I know this is herring, but I don't know exactly what it's called, but, I ate the whole thing. There you go. That's a lovely Iron Sheik 84 of 5 years ago. Without the long hair. And then we took like a little boat ride thingy that went through the canals. And explored the city, but there's also some little like carnival thingy I remember. Let's see, anything else worth really taking a look at. But yeah, that's about it. But I actually went to the so while you're on, I do have a funny story. I don't always get to tell this, but it's one of my it's like one of those like really just things that you wouldn't expect to see in your life. But so I showed you some pictures of like I said, of me and Mrs. Chic in the Netherlands. So I'd actually been in the Netherlands one more time, or one other time, I guess, whatever the right term to say is. I went back in 2011. So the city of Houston is about 5 hours from where I live. You know, with stops and traffic and everything, put it more like 6 to 7. But what happened was, I'm sure you know the company Iberia, right? Well, what happened was they screwed up, and they published a fare. I'm just gonna go ahead and just spend the coins for that. I really don't want to face any of these. Great. Okay. I'm gonna switch back to Walter here. But getting back to saying, so Iberia had screwed up their fares, and I was able to get a round trip ticket from Houston. Oh, great! Now, like I said, now I hit the wall of BS that I can't beat. Oh, actually, crap! I should have switched to somebody else. Okay, whatever. But yeah, like I said, so back in 2011, I went for spring break. Now now I don't listen to drum and bass and stuff as much as I used to, but there's a group called Black Sun Empire, and they were supposed to have a concert in Rotterdam. So when I was making my itinerary, I went from I was in London for a couple days. I went to Paris for a couple days, and then I went to Amsterdam instead of going to Italy like I had originally planned to. So we got there, and unfortunately the concert got canceled, and I didn't get to go. But you know, I tried to make the best of it, you know, and went around. You know, it's like explored the city. Now, whenever I went there, I wanted to go to the Anne Frank Museum, but unfortunately, like, the line was super long. And when I went back, it was too late. They said they weren't taking any more people. And I did not, I don't drink, so I didn't do the Heineken tour. But later on in the evening, you know, it's like, obviously, you know, it's like the red light district is really, you know, is something that, you know, that Amsterdam is famous for. Oh, and by the way, as another side note as well, I don't smoke weed, so that wasn't of that wasn't something I was striving to go do anyway. But getting back to the story, I just wanted to see what it looked like. So I walked through there, and most of the women, like they have, for lack of a better term, like it's like they have like this open. For anybody who hasn't been there, hasn't seen it, so they have like this. Basically, like when you go to the mall or something, and they have the window, like a window seeing inside the store what it is. So there's a bunch of women, and imagine like going through a mall with prostitutes in it, and most of them were just chilling on their phones and stuff. And as I was walking by, some of them were like waving, or they'd get up and shimmy a little bit or whatever. And it's like, of course and I'm just telling you right now, I was just like, I was always like, no, thank you. And I was walking by, but there was a group of drunk dudes, and one of them stood in front of the doorway, and it's like he put his arms up, and was had on the top of the railway. It was just sitting there, drunk off his ass, sitting there gyrating over and over and over, and he pissed off the lady of the evening enough to where she opened up the door, told him to fuck off, and told him that she's like, so she's like, blah 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 this, blah 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 that, and fuck you this, and blah blah blah. Again, like I said, just sitting there cursing him out like crazy. And then she told him, she's like, get out of here or I'm gonna call the cops, and then slammed the door in his face. And I couldn't help but laugh, because I'd never, first of all, like I said, it's like that's not something that I don't frequent, establishment places like that anyway. But to see a prostitute tell somebody off like that, like I said, I couldn't stop laughing. It was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen in my entire life. I don't have anything to break here, but I'm hoping that... Hey, Fishcan! Happy birthday, sir! Or ma'am, I forgot, I don't know, I don't want to sit there and assume anything, but happy birthday to you! Okay, cool. Okay, just want to make sure. I want to be mindful that if you're a dudette, or somewhere in between, I want to make sure that it's like I am respectful of people's personal choices. And of course, unfortunately, I lost this fucking match. Ugh. Couldn't get the death nail in there, but oh well. How's your day going? Did you get any good gifts so far? Actually, you know what? Yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, it's not just a PC thing for Twitch or whatever. It is, I mean, like, look, I try to be mindful of people. It's like, if some people are jerks about it, I'm not. But yeah, like I was saying, did you get have you gotten any good gifts yet? Have you gotten are you planning on doing anything later on this evening? So me personally, so my birthday's in November. When I was a kid, I loved my birthday. I mean, I know any kid does, but specifically, so my birthday is November 1st. So you can imagine as a kid having Halloween one day and getting a shitload of candy, and then having presents the next day was one of the best, two-in-one combos that anybody could ask for. But it's like the older I got, I don't really care as much anymore. Uh, I'm gonna be 37 this year, and yeah, every now it's like every year I'm just like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay at home. You know, and that's it. I remember last last year my brothers had to drag me out to go somewhere, as did my parents and my wife. But still, whatever you decide to do or don't do, I hope you have a wonderful day full of love and happiness. I'm very happy to hear that. Forgot my mobile. I don't know. I turned off my mobile stream manager thing. Alrighty. All right. So, yeah. Got any fun plans for the evening? Crap. All right, now hitting the 5SS wall. Ooh, do I want to risk it? Yes or no? There we go. What the hell? Oh, hey, that's awesome. That is really cool. I know you had mentioned this. I know we had mentioned this earlier, but yeah, my kiddos. He turned 2 his birthday is literally 3 weeks after mine, so I got a long, long way to go for those. But that's awesome. I mean, I certainly don't want to turn it around to be like, it's like and turn every story into like this is what I do. But I mean, like, definitely my parents worked super hard for for us when we were growing up, and they sacrificed quite a bit. My dad came to this country with nothing, um, and so knock on wood, I make a fairly decent living, and anytime that I've been able to, I've been it's like I help my parents. I mean, and I'm not talking about financially, but I take them out places, I buy them things, not because like they ask me to, but it's because I want to. It's like, and I know love isn't, I can't, be like, oh, hey, it's like I spent, $500. That shows I love my parents more than somebody who spends $20 on them. But, like I said, my parents sacrificed and did a lot for us. So, it's like when I'm able to do things for them, it makes me happy. It's like whether it's, taking them out to, it's like, whether it's like I said, whether it's a $5 item or or a $50 item, it's just my way of doing nice things for my mom and dad. But enough yakking away about my personal stuff. Yeah, your stimulus pending. That's always awesome. Your 24th wedding anniversary on the 9th. So, you're gonna laugh about this. I know I just said I was like, I'm not gonna turn this into a me story. uh, my fifth wedding anniversary is on the 16th. So yeah, where's it the 15th? Oh crap, I gotta. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the only reason why I say that is in our culture, uh, depending on who you talk to, the wedding day actually differs. So they have something. So we have something called a nikah. Weddings are usually 2 day affair, or they're 2 day affairs. So there's so you actually get married at the nikah, and then the next day is like the reception, and usually the nikah is a very small thing. It's like with family and like close like close friends. It's not something that you invite everybody to. And then the reception itself is the big celebration for everyone. Oh dang, what happened? If you don't mind me asking. If you don't want to get into it, trust me, I understand. Oh dang. Well, I'm very happy that you pulled through and that that you're it's like that you're celebrating your 24th wedding anniversary, and you got a kiddo who got his master's degree. Yeah, knock on wood. I broke my arm when I was a very young child, and yeah, life is truly a blessing. It really is. I broke my arm as a kid. Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I broke my arm as a little kid, and I I'd have my I had to have my knee operated on. So I tore my meniscus in two places, and I needed to have knee surgery to fix it because it's I mean, I'm not gonna do this, but like it's like walking was never walk. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. So walking was never an issue. So like I said, it's like moving my knees like this was fine, and then bending them up and down wasn't an issue. The only problem is moving my knees like left to right. I was like I had a very limited range of motion, and just I was in a lot of pain for a long time, and I stupidly did not get it looked at any sooner than I should have. Um, but thankfully, I got it operated on. This was last year, and I feel great. But yeah, um, knock on wood. Like I said, I'm in good health otherwise. But yeah, uh, that's gnarly though. Okay, so what am I gonna do here? Okay, so you have a trach from your. Oh, you mean the trach scar across your. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, dang. Oh, frick. Alright, thankfully use that one first. Okay, and hopefully I can survive and kick out of it. Okay. Please don't do some stupid crazy cascade. Okay, so kick out of this. Whew. Oh yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I know sometimes when somebody a when they get a wheelchair or something, it's like, or they have something, they're like, oh, how do you blah blah blah. And I know you said it was 3 years ago. I'm sure you've gotten, you've even if you're not used to it, you've at least adapted to that long before. Ooh, this match is taking forever. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I can only imagine. I can't say. I can't say I can. I get it, but I'm sure you probably had a situation where. I mean, I don't know. Pardon my ignorance here. Your muscles didn't atrophy, or did you have to learn how? Was it a situation where you kind of had to learn how to walk and things again, or was it more of a they had to make sure you were stable before you could go home? You had to learn to walk, talk, and walk. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed the talking portion, but I'm certainly sure that the walking would have to do that because I think even in that short of a period of time, like your muscles they atrophy like even a little bit because due to not moving around, right? March 18th and then April 7th. Dang. I gotta say, like I said, just oh dang. So you spent. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so you did spend. That did happen. So so I know like it like sometimes people on Reddit talk about it. So were you like somewhat? I don't know. Again, I don't know the right term to use here, but were you like cognitive of? Oh, the same son with that just graduated. Oh, dang! So you missed two birthdays. Were you were you like cognitive of the people like coming and visiting the room, or was it, or is I don't know how to say it because I know like I on Reddit somebody asked that question and some said that like you know for some people it was like a hazy dream like where they knew things were going on, they just couldn't put two and two together that you know like who specifically was talking and what was going on, and then others have just said they're like nope, it's like I was out one day and back another. Yeah, but I gotta say, upon hearing that story, you are definitely one of the most hardcore people that I've spoken to in quite some time. Dude, I can only imagine. I mean, like I said, I like having never been in that situation. I can only, I can't even begin to fathom that. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I mean, without trying to, without lowering the mood or anything. I mean, like I know everybody's, yeah, I know that everybody has to go at some point, and I feel like I've led a good life, and I believe in an afterlife. And I'm not gonna get into more specifics than that. I mean, that's up to each individual's beliefs, but like especially now that I have a kid, like I'm not afraid, but like I don't want anything happening. Oh no, 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 please, no, don't be sorry about anything. I I mean, obviously, I don't want anything to happen to me anytime soon, but I'm more, like I get more concerned or scared about like something happening to me now versus like down the line. You know what I mean? Uh, it's one of those things. I'm, I'm still, I mean, I'm still young. I know my definitely like I said, I'd have my knee done. So I mean, there are some days where I still feel the parts are out of warranty quite a bit. But I'm all, it's like he's like I said, he's 2, and it's like I'm almost 40, and it's like, and I think about that, and I'm like, well, it's like I made it a point to be better about like how I eat and what I do. To make sure that I'm around as long as possible for him. But I mean, it's just it's life, and the I mean, I'm happy. Here's the thing: within reason. I mean, there are certain topics that I won't touch, but it's like look, here's the thing. I like getting to know people. It's like there's more to life than WWE champions and me doing the Austin stun loop over and over and over while we'll do that, or DJZ enjoying the white claws with T Unit, and Guerson, making preview videos and Merrick's and everything. So I mean, like, yeah, I there's gonna be, it's like I said, this is there's more things to chat about than just hey, it's like, what's the optimal move set for Bobby Lashley now that he's out? Which, by the way, I haven't had time to look at the preview videos that have come out. If I had to take a guess, and I mean, like, I'd take just a wild guess. I'm thinking they probably said the low charge MP moves with the sub setup is probably the best one, because that's what I was thinking. All right, but yeah, everybody does. I mean, hell, I do. I don't know if my faction mate is still in here or not, but yeah, I was telling the story earlier. He was asking me if I was from the if I was from the U.S. or not. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. I was like, I'm from Texas. I was like, but I was sharing the story. I'm from Afghanistan originally. I grew up here in the States. Hence why I don't have an accent, or if I do, I have a Southern drawl versus you know, I don't know how else to put it, an Asian accent. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. One of my faction mates got him from one of the milestones too. I don't if I even see. There's the faction contest. What's the? All right, so in the solo contest, I'm nowhere even. Oh, here. There you go. Hold on, does that count for? Which one does this count to? Oh, the faction contest. Okay. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Brink. By the way, I know we got into the stories earlier, and I did see that you were talking about making a good trickster. So I'll take a short break here, and I'll refresh my browser too. So you were talking about good tricksters, right? Um, can you tell me about who you have? And we can talk about it real quick. So this is my trickster lineup here. Um, so I'll show you a little bit just real quick. These are all the tricksters that I have here. Um, so at the top here is Masters of the Universe Big E. Now I know not everybody has them, but of all my tricksters, I think he's the best one. Um, Edge has been more available lately with the key pulls. So if you have them, I would definitely recommend working on Edge. Carmella and Lana's down below. They're the two best female tricksters in my opinion. Um, Kairi Sane is really good too, but I don't have her, so I can't really like say from firsthand experience how I feel about her. So Deadman Taker, he's got good builds, but the thing is that, especially with the 5S game now, he can't really keep up with it. So I've kind of left him here at 4SS and I haven't moved him yet. I know Brett gets a good 5S move. I forget what it is, but he gets to be a better recycler. Stephanie is a good solid number 3 or number 4 female trickster. Piper from the Hall of Fame month-long contest. I really like him, and I'm gonna move him up eventually. I was planning on taking him as far as I could, but in the contest I could only do 4-star bronze. But I was planning on taking him up to 4-star or to 4-star gold, and then hoping one day that they would release the 5-star tokens like they do now. But since then, remember when they sent when Scopely sent out the, hey, sorry for the screw up. Here's here's the bag that you should have gotten. Well, I pulled the Hall of Fame Andre at 4-star from there, and then the other day I pulled the Hall of Fame Eddie at 4-star silver plus his gold gear. So now the order is going to be Eddie first, I know it's a tech and we're talking about tricksters here. And then after that is going to be Andre, which is a powerhouse, and again, we're not talking about tricksters. And then third is going to be Piper. And then after that, I'll get working on Hall of Fame Lita, which I got, and then last but not least, Nikki. I have other good women, females on my roster, and especially Lana. I'm gonna make her 5-star, so I'm covered on women. And then for like as far as like any Hall of Fame requirements, I'm good for right now, and eventually they'll get moved up. Big Show is actually good at 4 stars, and if you get his gear, which I don't have, he gets to be even better. Trickster Flair has the exact, they're clones of each other. So if you have Stephanie, you know how Flair works. If you have Flair, you know how Stephanie works. He's good, not great. Arn is good for his trainer ability. Not much past that. IRS, not that great. I think Merrick's put out a 5-star video for Jinder Mahal in his Forgotten Gems, if I'm not mistaken. But Jinder Mahal, he's good. I wouldn't say he's the best by any means, but you know, he's a solid character. Same thing with Farouk. Farouk is great as a trainer for anybody who makes column breaks. And then on top of that, he's a solid character, and he has a stun setup and a steal setup. I got him from the Silver League. So right here, if you set this up, you're broken by your opponent, force your opponent to skip their turn. So they have to break a gem, so it's not a regular stun move like Zombie Austin. But still, you know, if done correctly, you know, you can get your opponent in a stun loop. And then he also has another build here where you can steal from purple moves and you can steal from black moves. So he's again another solid character there. Woods is good as a trainer. You already know that. Same thing with Jerry here. Shinsuke Nakamura. Now I have much better tricksters, but I think he is kind of a diamond in the rough. A little underrated, especially with his trap gem setup. Sarge is good for his training ability. And what's funny is I didn't have Sarge until recently, and then I pulled Sarge like 6 times in the span of like a month. So Scopely really does know, like, once you pull a character, what your odds are in getting him again. Steel's good for his trainer ability, like I said. Miz is okay. Lana is fantastic. She's better than Carmella. Just straight up. Even though you know, it's like Carmella's 5-star. Like I said, I recently got her from those chests that they give out every 10 days or whatever it is. So I'm super happy to have her, and she's gonna get moved up. Dream is okay. Zombie Brock is fantastic, especially when you get him up to the higher levels. His reanimated slam here, where you can do the health steal, is really good. I haven't done his bleed setup only because he doesn't do as much bleed damage as, say, like a Sako does. But if done correctly, you can definitely make get good mileage out of zombie Brock Lesnar. Zombie Sasha, Sheamus, Corporate Kane, ugh. Natalia, Woken Matt Hardy. Now, ever since I got him, I haven't really moved him up too much, but from what I've seen, he's a decent character. Daniel Bryan, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Now, I know some people at like 4 and 5 stars say he's okay. I don't have him there, and so far I don't really care for him. Bray Wyatt isn't bad. Now he's not fantastic either, but especially if you do this, if you run this setup, you can get some decent damage out of him. Again, nowhere near like what a quote unquote top tier character does, but again, he's solid. I think he's a little underrated. Zombie Cena, fantastic. Literally the only reason why I haven't moved him up is like I said, I have the other tricksters, but also I only need 188 to fuse him up to 4-star. So with the zombie, there's the zombie spring break, and I think they do Christmas in July. I'm hoping through that or next October's setup that I get those remaining 188 shards and I can fuse them. So I mean that's it. I mean, like I said, I already have Zombie Kane. I already have Zombie Austin. So I'm good on, and I have Zombie Set. So I'm good on zombies and zombies that I can do stun loops with. Cactus Jack is not bad at all. He's got the steal for the blue moves, and he's like I said, he's okay, but definitely not the worst character. Although Sako is definitely going to be number one. Cactus Jack is going to be number two. He's probably going to be number three, and then Mankind, or you can argue who's third and fourth respectively. Honky Tonk Man is great for his trainer ability, not so much as a wrestler. Trickster Roman flat out sucks. Dean's okay. Yeah, Cactus with skill plate, definitely. Luke Gallows is fantastic, and again, I haven't moved him up because it's just, time, resources, and coins. I have a finite amount, and that's all. That's what you can do. Merrick's put out a gems video, or a hidden gems video with the new face of America, Kevin Owens. Again, I haven't used him too terribly much, so I can't give you a firsthand of how great he is. Trickster Andre is good for his 9K ability to give you the +1 on blue matches. I do know that in with 5-star he's not as great, but that again I haven't really used him that much. But I did get his 4-star gold fuse, so I mean he'll be going up at some point. Sean is new. I haven't really used him that much, but I think that he's a much better version of Edge. So if you have one or the other, take up Sean versus Edge. Unless you have a bunch of shards and stuff, and it'll save you TP. And then last but not least, I just recently pulled Eddie Guerrero, the Viva La Raza. He's awesome. I've seen his setups. I know that you can set him. You can do a setup to steal green MP. You can do a setup to steal blue MP. But again, I have so many other characters to work on, not just in Tricksters and whatnot. But yeah, that's just going through my roster real quick. Seeing what you have that you named. Edge is going to be the one that I highly suggest. If you have Piper, and I'm only naming them from the month-long contest. If you have him, Piper is going to be pretty good. Like I said, Shoget's good at 4-star. Flair, the only reason why I even have him at 4-star gold is because I got his fuse from the Silver League. Depending on what league you're on, some of these you will get fuses and whatnot for. But definitely of your choice, of your thing there, I would say Edge would be at the top of the list of the people to work on. And that being said, I feel like I've yacked on enough. And let's get back to... Oh. Yeah, Edge and Carmella, I'm telling you right now, you will not go wrong working on those two. Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, if you ever have any questions about who to work on, in the line chat, in the Discord, just feel free to message me, and I'm more than happy to talk it over with you when I have time. So now the slow climb to get to 700. Yeah, I haven't pulled the... So there are a couple of characters that are in the leagues that I haven't gotten. I recently got the... So I got the NXT Black fuse first, which I was super stoked about because I don't have the Tech Aleister Black, and I know that he's needed sometimes. So he's not necessarily somebody that I'm going to be moving, pouring all my resources into. But I try to. So with me, I trying to think of like the best way of putting this without getting like too complicated or off topic. But at this point, I would say that I'm good. I'm more than good on every single class, and I'm more than good on most eras. So the reason why I say that with a little bit of hesitation. So my like, when they have the Raw versus SmackDown, faction feuds, my best is a 4-star gold Jimmy Uso, and like other than that, it's like I have like Roman Reigns and a couple of other people at 4-star at 4 SB. So I tend to like, the only reason why I do well, quote unquote, is because I brute force playing the game, but like when Aleister Black's a requirement, like I have like Tech Black at 4-star now, so it helps me. It personally, it helps me to have like a backup character whenever there's a good one. Now some that I haven't worked on, like I know, like Kofi Kingston for example, the Tech Black tier 1, top of the tech tier list for a reason. The Acro one is not so good, so unfortunately, whenever I have there's a requirement for him, I'm just like, whatever, I'll get as far as I can and call it a day. Like the NXT version of Tech Black, I mean, obviously it's not going to be as good as the as the let me take that back, the Striker one, yeah. There's part of a reason why I don't I don't bother wasting my time facing them. Because enjoying some fruit Mentos. Yeah, like I was saying, like the NXT Black isn't bad. I mean, like again, he's nowhere near the level of the Tech one, but he can, he's got some decent setups. He can, he can do some stuff. I did recently get Ricochet, the Acro one, so for once I'm gonna actually be able to do something during the Raw versus SmackDown faction feuds. But yeah, like the like I said, like Ricochet for example is decent. The Showboat version is decent compared to the it's like the Acrobat one. So I try to, like I said, I try to do substitutes and things. But I gotta tell you, I do wish I had, just like anybody else, it's like time, money, effort, tokens, all that good stuff. I wish I had an unlimited amount, because if I did, I'd have so many people to move up. Now, for the next, I know we're talking where this is showdown here. I'm not gonna go through. Not trying to focus too much time on talking about talent ups and who I wanted to move up and everything. So I actually I want to get out of League 16. So I finally said screw it. I have enough coins to get the last 2 people up to level 210. But I'm just doing it little by little because I feel like the best strategy is to take advantage of the coin evos. And at least be able to get those, use the shirts to get some of your coins and whatnot back. I am going to hopefully, fingers crossed, take Biggie Langston, the Masters of the Universe version, and Walter up to 5-star silver. I did think about moving Zombie Austin up first just for sentimental value. But a 5-star silver or 5-star bronze Zombie Austin can still beat a can still beat a 5-star silver, under the right circumstances. So I'm not jumping at the bit to move him up. Yeah, so Fishkin, I don't expect everybody to follow every single move that I've made, but so when Shardmania first started, I was 160 shards away from unlocking good old Sako, and I thought about it, and I was like, well, do I want to sacrifice the coins and things that I could get in lieu of this, in lieu of the shards? And I actually waited all the way up to that, up until like Monday morning, and then I finally said, you know what, fuck it. It's like Sako, especially with the meta of this game right now, I was like, there's no way. I was like, why wouldn't I do it? It's like, if I can get Sako, why would, it's like, why the fuck would I not want to get him as a character? And so I said, I was like, okay, look, by hook or by crook, I don't care what it takes. I will get him. So I went ahead and bought a couple packs. I went ahead and bought, I think, two packs of his shards on week 1, knowing full well that week 2 I was going to be able to get more shards based on the chart that came out in Casey's group. So what I did was like the blitz thing where you had to do 50 easy, 50 normal, and 5 hell modes to get the maximum amount of points. I grinded and 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 I grinded until I was able to do the whole damn thing. And then that plus the tours, I got the amount of coins that I need. I was able to get all the shards that I needed, and I was so freaking stoked. You have no idea. I can tell you, I earned it. I earned it big time with the amount of work that I put in to get Sako. And so right now, I'm definitely moving him up. And then, of course, it's like when I talk about, it's like, having too many of one class to work up or something of another. So I did some pulls of Drew's from the Drew faction feud, and I was able to pull just enough of Ciampa's. I was able to pull just enough of Ciampa's shards to where the milestones between the month-long contest, the month-long bonus thing that they gave out, when they gave out like the Gargano, the Gargano shards every day, and then Ciampa and then Hall of Fame lead in, like right now it's Sid. So I was able to get, like I said, through a combination of that and like the tours and whatnot, I was able to get enough from the milestones to unlock Ciampa. And then, of course, I had pulled just enough shards to where I was only 22 away from getting Rhea Ripley. And I was just like, well, you know what? I was like, if I'm so close to getting her, then fine, I'll just buy 3 packs and unlock her instead. So that's where I am, and I went from having no good techs to having Sako and Ciampa and Rhea and Hall of Fame Eddie all within like less than a 2-week period, which is just nuts. But hey, sometimes that's how luck goes, and I was super thankful, and I am very happy that happened. Yeah, like here's the thing. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna link something in the chat here. So I don't know if you saw that. I did put it in some of the Discords, and I also put it in the WWE Champions Games Universe and Universe Facebook groups. and on Reddit as well. By the way, I am Iron Sheik 84 on Twitter and Reddit and everything. So if you ever see anything posted by an Iron Sheik 84, it's me. Um, but yeah, I made this. I made this, and I'll go ahead and we'll just take another really super short break here to show this off. Oh, hey, it's 7 o'clock now. Well, at least in Texas it is. Whoops. Okay. Here you go. Okay. Hopefully I didn't. Okay. Oh, hey, hey Delaney, what's up? So this is WWE Champions. It's a Candy Crush. It's a Candy Crush clone that's wrestling based. A fish can. Like I said, if you hadn't seen this, so what I did was I went through and I listed out all the characters that you could get in the Shardomania. So just using for example, this is week 3 here. So you know, like there's Beth Phoenix, AJ, Tech, Drew McIntyre, Kyrie, Lacey Evans, Rhea Ripley, Lana, Bruno, San Martino, and Gargano. So I wrote out like, you know, how many shards you get. I really should make another scene transition with this the full screen to make things easy on me. But as you see here, you know, it's like how many shards you can purchase, how much the shirts cost, and then the maximum purchase limit. Yeah. So what I went through in, I know I linked it in the chat, but what you can do is, hopefully, okay, so, crap. I'm gonna, you know what, one of these days I'm gonna make a full screen scene and then just, but yeah, so for example, right here on Lacey Evans. So there you go. I'll just do that. So this is Lacey Evans. So you know, 50 shards per purchase, 1,500. You can buy it 6 times. You know, the max shards that you can purchase is 300. Obviously, 6 times 50. That's 9,000 shirts. And then here I wrote out how many shards. You know, like this is where anybody can input how many shards they personally have, and then how many they need to unlock. And then this formula right here is just, you know, it's like if the number needed to unlock is less than the number of shards that you can purchase, then you can say I put that down as a true or a false here. So for example, I only have 62 Trickster Lacey shards. So realistically, the odds of getting her are very, very slim. But here, like if I were to change this to 1460. Oh, that's why. Forgot I. So if I were to change this to like 1462, so you see here how it says like, oh, you only need 138, and that turns it into a true. So I did this for all the wrestlers. And yeah, I don't have, yeah, I only have the Showboat Lacey. So maybe one of these days I'll get her. But yeah, I went through and, you know, it's like, and that's kind of like where, you know, like I figured, you know, it's like, okay, Sako's achievable, I'll get him. And then I made that, you know, I released that spreadsheet for everybody. And I'm just waiting to see what week 4 has, and if I can get another wrestler out of it, great. If I don't, then I'm gonna use the month-long currency for coins, because I definitely need those, because I'm gonna be spending 38 million of them to get 2 more characters up to level 210. And then, yeah. Alright, so I was saving that for now. Gotta claim that real quick. Alright, so, Oh no, well no, I don't buy a lot. I've been playing this game for 4 years, Delaney. So I have a good roster built up because of that. So kind of to give you a super short and sweet version of what this is. So let me find somebody who I can actually face and not feel bad about. Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. Oh, Brett and Charlotte were leaked. Oh, actually, I didn't. That's the first time hearing about it. All right. Let's see. Check the logs. Maybe there's somebody here I can fight. I actually want a couple. Oh yeah, I'll have to check it out later. Alrighty, Brink, thank you very much for catching the stream. You have a wonderful evening. Can I even have a promoter? Nope. Okay. All right, Delaney. So to give you a heads up on how this works. So, I have my roster of people, and kind of like Genshin Impact. All right. Yeah. Hang on. Let me. Nobody click on that, please. Banned. Blocked. And reported. There we go. But yeah, so Delaney, like I said, so you get these characters. And of course, I spent a shitload of tokens for no fucking reason. Yeah. So, so Delaney, like I said, so this is somebody's actual character. Now they're CPU based, so it's not a 1v1 direct battle. But this is who he has set as his roster. This is who I have set. So I'll try to explain it as quickly as I can. So you see how there's like these different colored gems. So if I break the blue ones, it'll fill up these blue moves. So if I break a black one, it'll fill up this black move. So what I ideally want to do is to get blue and black gems. Sometimes it's like you're limited to what your board has, of course. But let's see. Boom, boom. All right, great. He's got a black match there, and I'm screwed. There we go. So, so you see here, so I have my blue moves filled up. So does he. The CPU's a lot, gets a lot, has a lot more RNG to get this set up, versus me, but so you can have different setups on moves. So he has this one where it's like where he kind of spams gems. I have a different setup that I like better. But so as you see here, I have this. So like this move right here. So it deals a certain amount of damage and it makes these trap gems. Whenever I break them, I get it refills this bar again. And then this move right here does 90,000 damage and breaks a 3x3 area. So ideally, what I want to do is break the blue gems to where I can get my move filled up. And then you see here, I can redo the move over from scratch again. Yeah, and there's a certain amount of there's a certain fill that it needs. Like this one needs like either 8 turns happens, or like I said, I break 8 gems. But I mean, I'm not gonna get too like far into how all this works, because it's certainly something that it's one of those, like, if you play it, you'd get it. But I mean, I can certainly understand kind of explaining this to somebody. Like, if somebody were to talk to me about how Genshin Impact works, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get it in the first, like, I'm sure there's no, like, I'm sure there's no, like, succinct 10-second explanation for it. Alrighty. Yeah, but it's a game I enjoy. It helps, a lot of the times whenever I'm streaming, this is my, well, that's what a lot of people say. I mean, I mean, I've been a big wrestling fan for forever, so I mean, I enjoy this game, and plus, this is my, this game's my, it's like, hey, dad, it's like, streaming is like my, hey, this is dad's time to sit down and enjoy himself, with the little one and the wife. I have a pretty busy day. Right now she's over at her sister's, so I have my evening free and clear, and I'm hoping I can finish this contest hopefully in the next, like, 30 minutes or so. Since the weather's good, I plan on taking the S2000 out for a spin and, just enjoying the evening. There we go. Oh yeah. So I know you remember the yellow one. I'm sure you saw the yellow one I used to have, right? I have a silver one now. Yeah, fish can. By the way, yeah, I noticed that too. It's like, like I said, I mean, I'll be 40 in a couple of years. Like, I was kind of shocked that a lot of the people who play this game are like an older demographic. Like, I would have figured, it would be like a mix of, like, people in their, like, 20s and whatnot. But I've noticed that that's not really the case. There's a lot of younger people, a lot of older people who play this. Okay, no on him. No on Montez by far. Let's see. Nah. There we go. Oh yeah. I was hoping I was gonna be able to pull him, but yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah, there are a couple of new like just super killers out there in this game, and I don't have any of them yet. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that'll do it. I really wanted the Skull King Triple H, and I tried so hard this past Halloween, but unfortunately I fell 500 short. Yeah, I look. By the way, I know a lot of people complain about this on the board, so you know, it's like, and I'm not sure about Discord because I don't really use Discord as much, but I kind of hope that they're yeah. Alrighty, man. You enjoy yourself. Thanks for dropping in, Delaney. I do other games from time to time. This tends to be like my main game, but well, I'll do some fighting games and stuff from at some point. Yeah, the only character that I've gotten lucky enough to pull from the milestone boxes was Masters of the Universe Triple H. I actually got from one of the milestone bags. I got him at 3SB, and I was just like, holy crap! Oh my god! You know, I was so stoked when I got him. Yeah, other than that, I don't have any of the other chase characters. You know, I haven't the Skull King would probably be the only one that I would say like I was making like an active and like a super active attempt to try to get. But it just didn't happen. Which I mean, which is okay. I mean, it's whatever. Like, you know, there are worse things in life. Let me see if I can actually. Nope. Yeah, Masters of the Universe Triple H. Yeah. Yeah, so him right here. Yeah, I did I say something? Did I say something else? Like hold on a minute. Whoa. Ah, come on, for the love of God. Just trying to move up. Yeah, I know I said Evil Skull King, by the way, so I totally get that I said that. Where the hell is he? There we go. Okay, the Skull King, not the Evil Skull King. Yeah, Z Triple H, yeah, so you see here, I had 1,500 to 2,000. I tried, I couldn't get him, and there's a certain point where I was like unwilling to just, you know, I mean, like, I'm sure if I threw in, you know, if I threw down, you know, like several hundred to a couple of grand, I could have gotten him, but there's a certain point where I'm just like, yeah, that's this is my breaking point, and we're at that, and I'm not going any further. Yeah, and I'm hoping maybe next October I'll get I'll get those 500 shards in some way, shape, or form. But it'll remain to be seen. Let's see. Here we go. Take that. Take that. Ooh. Um, I know somebody. What is it? Can you smell it? Put out a chart of how what usual like quote unquote usual things there are. Crap. So next month's gonna be WrestleMania definitely. Um, Past that, I think. No, there's no point in doing that. So I'm gonna break that. So I'm gonna do these, and then that, so that you can't do anything with them. And I'll just. There you go. All right. So yeah. So like I said, next month is gonna be WrestleMania. After that, okay, don't quote me on this, but I think like looking at we looked at the calendar of like the last X amount of like last year this month was this, last year this month was that. Yeah, I just lost. Crap. Okay. I think Masters of the Universe is going to be after this in the next month or two. And then, like you said, I think we're gonna have another zombie. There's gonna be a zombie month over Christmas, or like I said, like the Christmas in July or whatever thing. So I mean, like there's definitely gonna be something, and then I mean, obviously Halloween's gonna be the zombies. So I mean, I mean, we'll definitely see what happens, but I didn't want to do that, but whatever. What is it? So I don't have Zombie Daniel Bryan, and trying to think. I don't have Zombie Triple H, but I think I have every other zombie except for male zombie. I don't have Asuka. So if they have a contest with any requirements or whatever, and they give away shards, I should be good on most of them. Zombie Kane has the boss skill plate, and after I make Masters of the Universe Warrior 5 star, I'm gonna like I'm still debating, like, it's like after that, do I want to focus on Zombie Kane, or do I want to focus on Fandango? Because I mean they're both fantastic. Is that I have Kane with the plate, and then I have Fandango, and I also have Tyler Breeze. So it's, do I want another fantastic zombie, or do I want another fantastic showdown team? Hey, what do you know? Twitch already sent me a report on that bot and said that that they investigated it, and they're gonna ban that account. That was pretty quick. shit. That was a bad sound. I know you couldn't hear it, but there's either a car backfired or somebody hit something out there. All right. Always the wall of Sacco's. I don't know, Fishcan, I don't know if it's the same for you. I always think it's funny that, like, you know, I mean, Sacco's a little more, I mean, I'll give it up that Sacco's a little more readily available because of, Shardamania and whatnot, but, I always think it's funny that, you know, it's like, that they're these, like, super rare characters, and then, you know, every showdown I get to a point where it's Kofi Kingston, you know, Zombie Triple H, you know, Apex Predator Orton, you know, and, you know, it's like, it's never, you know, it's never, you know, like, the 5-star, you know, what, I'm trying to think of, like, you know, it's like the 5-star, like, John Cena's, or, and I'm not talking about the tech one, but, like, the, you know, the Showboat version, or the, you know, like, the 5-star, you know, like, Striker Triple H, or anything like that. I'm like, I was like, hey, where the hell are all these people? It's like, why is it that, you know, it's like, you know, like, where the hell did all these people come from? Why do they have them and I don't? Then, of course, I want that, you know, like, I bust out the notebook, and I demand times, dates, and places of this happening. Ha ha ha. Stun immunity. Normally I would just automatically switch back to Big E, but I'm going to go ahead and put her in the sub because I don't want a situation where I can't... Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good, dude. Like, I don't sit here... I don't expect people sitting here hanging on my every word, you know, the whole time. But no, I was going to say, like... just real quick, I was gonna say it's like I'm starting to hit that wall of you know, it's like the 5S wall, and of course, you know, it's always the most rare characters in that wall of of 5 stars. You know, it's like it's always Sacco, and it's always Tech Kofi, and it's always, you know, Zombie Triple H, and, you know, that, and it's never, you know, it's like, it's never those 5-star, you know, JYDs and, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura's and all that other stuff that I faced earlier in the rounds. And also, the other thing that I'd mentioned was, instead of switching automatically back to Big E, I went ahead and put her in the sub loop for 2 reasons. Number one, just in case if I can't finish my plate with Big E and Zombie Austin again, that she wouldn't come in with a full, with a ready to go stun loop, because I wouldn't be able to get out of it, because I don't have a stun immunity belt on Carmella. And second of all, it's typically easier to take out the women than it is the men whenever it gets to that point. So go with what works for you is what I always say. And also, I can't believe I've been streaming for almost, what's it, so I'm at 2.5 hours now. If for whatever reason I can't finish this off in the next, let's say, like 15 or 20 minutes, I might just call it an evening. switch to mobile and finish playing that way, so I can go grab dinner and enjoy the rest of the evening. Go. Now starting with a bit of a deficit didn't help out much either. You're getting matches now. All right, hey, awesome. Are you having any trouble with finding opponents, or it's like the one thing that I've noticed is like I said, it's initially, for whatever reason, it's like like I run into the same opponent not found, opponent not found, opponent not found thing. But then once you like get a couple matches under your belt, then getting through the rest of it is simple. It's just for some reason, it's kind of like when somebody's learning how to drive a manual car. It's like they're just jerking back and forth. It's like trying to get it in first. But once you get it, it's smooth sailing from there. So I'm at 588. Ugh. Buy a digital one? Oh, okay. I'm gonna do something nice for my friend Delaney, but apparently, should be good on health for right now, yeah. Alright, blue match right off the bat. It's always what I like to see. It's nice that they fixed whatever issue there was with Slick Rick, because I was one of the people that was affected by whatever bug it was that made it flip out whenever you picked any of the Ric Flairs. So especially whenever they did whenever at the start of this contest or this month-long contest, whenever it's like Showboat Flair was one of the characters that it's like to get the bonus points. I was like, come on, fix it by the end of the month. I was I have an iPhone, and I do play I do have an Android tablet that I use from time to time. So I was hoping, I was like, okay, well, between it's like one of these and the Portal, I should be able to play it. Yeah. So I don't know if I've shared this story with you or not. I have told it on the stream before. How I got Slick Rick was. So, do you remember? Okay, so I know you've been playing this game for a while. So, the last big update that they did, and I'm not talking about like it's like, oh, it's like adding the icons or adding this or that. But do you remember when they did the last major update? And it was whenever they did whatever change it was to the Showdown. About what, like 6 months ago or whatever it was. It was whenever they introduced the. I think it was whenever they introduced the leagues. So it might have been more than might even be even longer than that. What happened was is they it's like I was buying the Slick Rick shards, 20 at a time, in the store, and I was using all my in-game cash watching. It's like I'd watch the ads, let the ads play while I was at work. It's like, and then every 3 hours you get a refresh. So I was working and working and working and working to get that, and then they announced, they're like, hey, it's like we're redoing, we're redoing the store, we're redoing this, and I was just like, well, shit, it's like something's gonna happen, and it's like they're gonna take this character out, and then I'm gonna have no chance of getting him. So what I did was I did my absolute best to get as many of the ads and stuff going. It's like, and I did all the let's see, it's like all the mobile offers. The one of the ones are like, hey, install this game and you get 17. You get 17 in-game cash or whatever. So I did just a buttload of those. It's like, and like I said, watched ads like crazy all the time, and then they introduced the leagues, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not gonna get them. And then it's like, like for the like whenever the leagues came out, they're like, oh hey, you get the prizes of the previous leagues, and so I got what is it? I got like 1,000 cash or whatever it was out of it. And so I was just like, screw this. I was like, before they implement the change, I'm just gonna keep refreshing over and over and over and over. And then that's how I got that's how I got Wolfpack Sting, and that's also how I got Slick Rick. So I'm glad I did, because now they don't show up. And I think, like, what is it? Slick Rick's now like 20,000 Showdown coins instead of 200, which is ridiculous. And also, did you see the last? I'll turn the light on. I think I'm a little bit dark here, aren't I? Did you see the last update that they came out with, saying that they're going to revamp the Showdown store a little bit to where like Sting shows up more often? Yeah, I still haven't seen him, but I'm also, like I said, I'm also not refreshing the store because I already have him. And then you know what? I'll live with using TP versus spending 10,000 Showdown coins for 50 posters. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think, okay, so I know I was talking about the major refresh, like I said, the one that I referenced when leagues were introduced. I think I've seen him twice, 3 times since then. Now I haven't seen him now, but nah, I'm not gonna try to face cam. I'm sure he probably has the. Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever seen any previews or anything of him. He's great. He is, with the butt. On defense wise, he is fantastic. I can hardly, remember a time where, I haven't ended a match in full health with him. So the setup that I use is green with the purple move that he gets, and then I have Titus and the new Face of Fear Wyatt for the additional purple, additional green sub turns. The only problem is like, obviously for like showdowns, you got to get in as it's like in for feuds, you want to get in as many matches as you can as fast as you can, because the longer you wait, the like that's the less points that you get, and then obviously in showdown, the longer that you go, the lower your notoriety gets. Getting attacked, right? That's where Sting is not that great because, like I said, he's an if you have Asuka, he's a super annoying version of Asuka. But it's like, and in the same token, it takes, it's like, like where it takes, a match with Asuka, like, it's like 6 hours to finish. It takes that just as much time with, it's like with Wolfpack Sting. Not great. Let's see. Okay, no, I don't want to face any of these. Okay, I am willing to face that. I'll switch back to the... There you go. Yeah, stick that a little bit further away from my face. Yeah, but I will say, during the what is it? It was either the Drew or was it Drew's where it was like green finishers got the 100% bonus on damage. Like doing that with the flat damage gem that I had. It's like I was knocking people out left and right, but like I said, under normal circumstances, it takes forever to win a match. So like even here with Big E, I mean, I know it's like it's a little different with like a lower a 5-star versus a 4-star with Booker here. But it still takes like it's like what like to finish a match with Big E, if I win, it takes like what, like minute, 2 minutes or whatever. With Sting, it would probably take closer to 3 or 4, which it's like when you add that up over needing 100% variety or whatever. No, I didn't get them all. So I made this little spreadsheet here. Oh, I'll take that. Okay. So the red ones are the ones that I don't have. So I don't have Bobby Lashley, Beth Phoenix, Kyrie, Striker, Randy, Showboat, Big Show, Mickey James, Trickster, Lacey, Tex Cena, or PH Velveteen Dream. I did do Lana's, I did do Ember, and all 5 of Showboat, Lacey Evans, and then I did Fandango. My Cena chain gang is at such a ridiculously low level that I mean, there's nothing's gonna happen. And then same, it's like these are at 3-star. My Legend Killer, I got a 4-star fuse out of him, and I mean, like, he's not that great. It's like, and then, or no, that's this one. The Tech one, I never really built up. And then my Big Show is at 4-star, but I haven't really built him up all that much, and then he's a 3-star as well. I'm hoping tomorrow that I can find some lower defenses in order to get some matches in. But as of right now, those are the only ones that I've done so far. Yeah, the only one thing that I was sort of thinking about, which I know this is nothing to do with it. So I do have, I know talking about like, oh, I don't have this person built up, I don't have that person built up. I have 11 of those light cheat and steal tokens. The ones that take off 30,000 health. Um, if if our faction is close enough to a milestone that it's gonna make a huge difference between like getting or not getting it, what I might do is just build them up just enough for like like Chain Gang Cena. Like I think he's at. I have some of his moves built up only because it's like I did I use the shards once a day to get the bonus for the what is it, the you know what I'm talking about, the daily milestone thingy, daily missions, yeah, this thing. So like it's like so in the lower, when you get to the upper leagues, you only need to do 50, which is a godsend. But since I needed to do one, what I was doing was my low level mooks. I was just using like their shards. So like duh, I should have just gone to the end there. Okay. Like Texina here, he's at 807. He's 2-star. He's not beating anybody anytime soon. So what I was planning on doing, I mean now that I absolutely have to, what I'm probably gonna do is he's at level 2. I'll probably make him like level. I'm just gonna throw an arbitrary number out there, like 30, which is a negligible amount of coins. And hopefully tomorrow I'll find somebody who I can use to beat, who I can use against them. Yeah, I pulled him recently. So I gotta tell you, I didn't like his trial as much as some other people did. I think he's a great. I think he's a good character. Don't get me wrong, but I just pulled Ricochet. I know. Well, taking breaks to look at my roster. Or actually, here we'll go to the roster page. It'll be easier to see here. There we go. See, so I try to break it out. So I always try to move to see who I want to move up. So Masters of the Universe. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a very good strategy, AK. I didn't even think about that. Um, you're gonna laugh about this. So look at my titles right here. I actually got this. A legendary, ruthless aggression, men's division, acrobat. So who's the only person that can use it? Chain Gang fucking Cena right there. So this is probably the most useless strap that I have, other than the ones like that Acro Hall of Fame with that doesn't exist. Um, yeah. Also, as a spoiler alert, there's a possibility that a certain streamer that you're watching right now might have an entry in uh, the Haven guide next month. I'm not gonna say what. I say next month or whenever they release the next iteration of it. But yeah, I may or may not have contributed something that's going to be beneficial to everybody. Um, but as I was saying, he went to 5 stars. She went to 5 stars. I want to move up. I want to move up Ray. I want to move up Andrade, and I don't have his gear. I just pulled Ricochet. And then I just pulled what is it? Hall of Fame Lita here. I know Stinger's not as good, but I mean, like, he's still pretty decent. I'd like to move him up. And then there's R-Truth here. So, I mean, like, I already have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people ahead of us. Yeah. Did I? I don't remember if I did or didn't. Oh, I'm kidding. By the way, I'm not. This isn't. This is some sort of super secret. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, I did say that. Then yes. Okay. Oh, I was just gonna. I was gonna try. I was gonna say what it was. But yeah. So you know how like I was inventorying all my straps. Well, what I did was I don't know, like I said, I keep saying that I'm going to make a scene. So here we go. All 299 superstars here, and I'm guessing I'm going to have, well, it's going to be 300 now, and I'm going to have to add Bobby Lashley. But yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to add a full screen scene right now. Give me 1 second. I'm really tired of this. Whoa. Crap. There we go. Okay, I know I went silent, by the way. I'm fully aware of that. Just give me 1 second. Window capture. Add source. Damn it. Not that one. Window capture. Window capture. Add source. Add a new source instead. Okay, not my auto clicker. There we go. Hey, can you guys see this? Yay, there you go. Okay, I actually got around to doing something once instead of complaining about it, not doing it. Yeah, so, like I said, I need to add Bobby Lashley to this. But yeah, I went through, this is all 299 superstars minus Bobby Lashley, he'll be 300. And you know what? I'll just go ahead and do it right now. Why not? Why the hell not? Okay, so I know you can't see this, but so Bobby Lashley is a modern era, and you know it's like here I don't feel like I'm gonna be lazy here, and I'm not gonna add more window captures. So there you go. So that's the link to Bobby Lashley in the database, right? So what I did was I'm gonna insert here. Painter. Okay, so Bobby Lashley. What's his little tagline here? The Almighty. Okay, so it's the Almighty Bobby Lashley, right? So his class, he's a powerhouse. He's a male or female. He's male, of course, and he's a modern era. I'm gonna go ahead and save this real quick. So what I did was. So, like you saw there, like, you know, it's like how we looked at my straps, and I was just like, oh, what the hell, like, you know, like, it's like, who has what, and I could never figure that out. So what I did was, like I said, I put everybody here, and now this is all 300 wrestlers that are in the game. So, for example, hey, I have a belt that's for powerhouses only, for ruthless aggression. Who can use it? Oh, hey, Batista can use it. You know, it's like, and you can break it down there more for like female or male or whatever. But hey, so my powerhouse ruthless aggression belt can go to Batista, Beth Phoenix, Goldberg, John Cena, Kurt Angle, and Mark Henry. And then yeah, it's like, you know, it's like, and you can just you can break it down however you want to. So, you know, like, hey, I have a belt that's only good for modern people. Who can it work for? Oh, hey, so this is everybody. Adam Cole, AJ Styles Zombie, Tech AJ, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I went through, took me a couple hours just to make sure that I got, you know, names correct and everything. But yeah, this should be on the next Haven guide. Yeah, I did this for all of you. And myself, of course, but yeah. And then anything here that I have to the right, I didn't know how else to put it, but for example, like AJ Styles, he's a modern and a zombie. Aleister Black has has a modern tag, the zombies tag, and then also those WrestleMania 35 and 36 legendary belts they were giving out in the as part of the milestones for that blitz that we were talking about, the 50-25, the 50 easy, 20 hard. So yeah, so I went through and just added those in there. So yeah, this is I mean, I'm not gonna go through literally every single breakdown, but yeah, any belt that I could think of. So I know I personally have Masters of the Universe belts. I have the WrestleMania 35. I know about the zombies. I know about the NWO belts and whatnot. NXT. So somebody might say like, oh, what about NXT and stuff? Well, if there's a specific belt that's only applied to NXT people, I don't know that. And if there is, I can always update this. But yeah, this is gonna be added on there. Why are we getting straps for characters that don't exist? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, actually, you're okay. I got it right afterwards. You're talking about like for example, hold on, let me close this, and yes, I do want to save my changes. Okay, I don't need that. Can turn off too. Hold on, let me just save this right here. Showdown, Lash-Out, Showdown chart. There we go. Okay, I know it's a black screen. I'm gonna switch it back to WWE Champions here. All right, yay. We'll go ahead and just reset that real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna delete this song. I do not like it at all. Okay. Okay, there we go. WWE Champions. Pull this back up. So to answer your question, so basically, what happens is, for lack of a better term, when we get the straps in, they're like, oh, it's like you get a random strap for it's like a blah blah blah. It just basically Okay, there we go. So I'm just putting it here just so that it makes it easier for me. But, it's like... There we go. So, gender... Really? Okay, whatever. Yeah. So here's what happens. So I mean, like, obviously, like, gender, it's like, I know this isn't gonna be great, but male, female, and then, like, we'll say showboat, trickster, it's like powerhouse, whatever. And then era is like, it's like we'll do modern, attitude, and then legends or whatever. So what happens is when it's like when it's at random, like it's like they have their little bot or whatever go out random and say like, oh hey, it's a female striker legend. Well, what the game should do, and I mean, and by the way, I'm not a programmer at all. I don't know how to do this shit, and I don't want to sound like, oh, well, they should do this, this, and this. I have the slightest fucking clue how it gets done. I don't. My background's in supply chain. It's not in programming. But what happens is they don't have something in the system that says, hey, like you can do a female it's like a female striker in the modern era, but you can't do a female, it's like a female acro, it's like new gen, I mean, we'll do N for new gen. Because I've gotten so many female new gen belts over there, it's like that I can't use them. So they should have something in their system that says, like as of right now, this is not available. Please do not give this out. But they don't, and that's the reason why we get belts for characters and things that we do not have. Why? I mean, again, why? I don't know. Is there an easy way to implement that? I don't know. And I mean, like, and I know the argument could be made of like, oh hey, well, just because we don't have a new gen today doesn't mean we're not going to have one tomorrow. And I get that, but on the same token, like, like that, like, it's like I have belts. I'm hesitant to sell legendary belts because I'm like, okay, the second that I sell them is when they're gonna have, is when a character is gonna come out. But, what am I gonna do with, what am I gonna do with, yeah, I know what you mean. Trust me. It just it I wish they had, like I said, some means of implementing, like, don't do this, don't do that. But again, like, I don't know how hard it is, so I can't sit there and just, like I said, just say, hey, you should just do X, Y, Z. It's easy, and I mean, I'm not I call it like I see it. So I mean, I know sometimes some people get a little overzealous, and I'm not naming names or pointing, or casting shade on people. Um, some people are like, oh, it's like they should, they should do blah 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 blah. Like, I remember somebody once, an Aleister Black NWO belt. I remember one person, like, sometimes, like, I'll read on the forums or whatever, and somebody's like, blah, 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 blah. They should give everybody a free Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, like, look, don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love a free Hollywood Hulk Hogan. But, like, it's one of those things, like, it's always a balancing act. They're, like, look, they're a company. Their goal is to make money. I get that. I 100% get that. But it's like, like I said, I wish they had some. There's some quality of life things that I wish could be added to this game that would just make me super happy. One of them being, oh yeah, I closed my auto clicker. I forgot about that. Like, you see here, like, how I have an auto clicker, by the way, which, if you ever play through the portal, it's 100%. It's so great, to have this do it. I wish that, it's like, it wasn't a situation of, like, you either do one or you do all of them. Like, if you could do, like, say 10 level, like 5 levels at a time, or 5 HP at a time, like, do like 1-5 all or 1-10 all or something like that. That's something that, like, it's like, that aren't gonna cost any money, and it's like would make the players a lot happier. And like, I wish they could do that. So the mystery coins, I think I have 6, I think. So yeah, I'm not gonna get Hall of Fame Hogan. I know, what is it, the I think they've given out 45 of them or something so far. Yeah, I have 6. Okay, and of course Taker blocked that. Yeah, and the only reason I even have that 6 is the aforementioned uh, strive to get all the to unlock Sako. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be anywhere even close, remotely close to having those 6. All right, 2 can play that game. I've dodged a move 2. How does that feel, Taker? Alright, so I'm just gonna do this. So he's probably... I don't have enough to... Just gonna switch to Becky here. I always love seeing that in the negative there, whenever you do that. So, Becky, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just break some purple blocks just for the straight damage. And then I'm going to do a Hurricane Rana to you. And then, last but not least, put you in the Code of Silence. There you go. Alright, by the way, I know I said I was going to be done by now. I'm serious though. I'm gonna put a 10-minute timer on my watch. If I'm not done in 10 minutes, I'm calling it an evening. But yeah, a Hall of Fame Hogan would be cool. I haven't heard that rumor yet. You know, but the jokes that I have made on the mystery coins. So basically, this is what's gonna happen. You know, like, so you and I have sex, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. If I don't break 700 on stream, I'm just gonna do it off stream. So usually during so just as a peek behind the curtain, during like faction feuds and whatnot, you know, it's like between mobile and between like streaming. Well, I mean, I guess when I'm streaming, I'm not playing on mobile, but like day one, I usually, like, it starts at 6. You know, I play from 6 to depending on what I have going on, of course. If I have family time or whatever, then that's, you know, then it changes. But I usually put in a good solid like 4 or 5 hours at least. And then Sunday, and then, you know, it's like Sunday I play in the morning, and then, you know, it's like when we're doing laundry and stuff, you know, I'm playing in between, you know, taking care of the little one and doing this and doing that. But you know, I don't play all night like some people do. And as much as I enjoy streaming and, you know, chatting with people, you know, I do want, you know, like, I do want breaks from time to time. You know, it's like to eat and you know, do this or do that. Like I said, the main reason why I've done 3 hours uninterrupted is because my wife's over at her at my sister, you know, at her sister's. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's like I enjoy family time. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing that. But kind of like what I was saying beforehand. So, you know, AK, this is, I certainly don't wish this upon you, but it's a joke that I made, of course. So Fishcan and I have 6, right? So if we have 6, then, you know, we can cash them in for a single 1SG token. But if we had 9, you know, you can get, like, you know, it's like a 3-star, like, Hogan, for example. I'm just using this example, right? And that's what's gonna happen. It's like, regardless, it's like if you have this, you could get, it's like if you had this, you could get an ultra great prize, but you're right here, you're just a little under it, which means you don't get nothing. Like I said, I certainly hope that doesn't happen to any of us, but I'm not holding my breath that I'm gonna be able to get some super crazy, thing out of it. And if I can't, it's like, as long as if I can get some decent tokens, or if I get some 5-star Hall of Fame tokens out of it, or some coins, I'll be very happy. Anything less than that, I wouldn't be thrilled about it, but then again, on the same token, what am I gonna do about it? Hey, howdy, Sean. Doing great. So I've gotten up to 600 and something. I'm going to. I know you caught me on the tail end here. I've been going on a lot longer than I expected. I've been doing this for like 3 hours now, hanging out with Fishcan and AK and some other people. Um, if I can get to 700, I'm gonna switch to turn off the stream, switch to mobile. And I had a couple things I wanted to do tonight. First of all, I'm gonna go enjoy dinner. And in addition to that, actually, I might, if I do end up going later, I might just take a break and get dinner started now. But the weather is good in Texas right now. I really want to take a break and put the convertible top down and go and enjoy, cruise down the highway, play in some Eurobeat music, or another favorite of mine is "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue, and just enjoying the weather, and it's like the wind in my face, and hopefully not encounter any jerks on the road. Little Elm, yeah, I know exactly where that is. Yeah, just to give you a frame of reference, obviously depending on where in Little Elm, but I actually live in North Dallas, so I can go to Little Elm right now if I wanted to, if I wanted to drive there. Little Elm's a great city. Yeah, well, look, this game, like I don't just say this just because, like, look, this game isn't everything. Um, like last week during the faction feud, I didn't score. I think in our group, like, I think I got barely, like, I still kept my top 10. I still kept my top 10, but I'm usually like top 5 or whatever. Oops. Oh, no, 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 not that one. Sitting here yakking away, not even paying attention. Like, it's like, like, I'm typically top, 5, if not top 3 or whatever. But, I took my parents out. Um, so I don't know if you saw the video or whatever in the line chat. So a couple years ago, my wife wanted to, it's like, it was my wife's birthday, and I gave her a couple different options of, like, okay, hey, do you want to go, it's like, do you want to go do this, do you want to go do that, is there something in particular, somewhere in particular you want to go to? And I threw it out there, and I was like, look, would you like dinner and a show? And it's like, she said she did. So there's a Greek restaurant here in Dallas called Stratos, which, here, Fishcan, if you want to, there you go, that's how you say that, if in case your sister wants to go. On Friday and Saturday nights, they have a belly dancer, and we went for dinner. Like we went for dinner, and there was a belly dancer, and now post COVID they've kind of changed it to where they only have it once. They only have one showing, but like it's they had somebody that come at 7:30 and then one at 9:30. So we kind of went like right at 7:30, and then like by the time it's like we ate and everything came out, it was close to 9 o'clock or whatever. We're like, why don't we wait for the next show too? So we saw both of them, and I told my mom and dad about it, and they were like, oh hey, it's like that sounds really neat. That sounds like something that it's like we definitely want to go see. So I told him, I was like, look, it's like if you want to, it's like if you really want to go, we'll go. But we had two stores at the time, and one of them closed at 9. And with with where the store is and where that is, somebody was always gonna have to stay home. And my parents were like, no, we don't want to go without you. It's like, especially since you're the one that told us about it and everything. And it's like, as much as I insisted saying, look, it's like I've already been, like you guys go, you enjoy yourselves. They were just hell bent on like, no, we either go as a group or nobody goes. So because of that, it's like we didn't go. Like I said, I'm talking like 2 years ago, and I'm talking about last week. But I told my parents, I was like, you know what? I was like, let's, it's like, they'd completely forgotten about it. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I have a surprise. There's a place I want to take you. And we were supposed to go on Friday, but Friday plans got nixed. So I was like, you know what? I was like, my parents want to go. The faction feud's not important. Taking my parents out is. So we went. My parents had a good time. It's like everybody enjoyed themselves. So you see, like that to me is more important than like, oh hey, it's like I only scored, it's like X, like 3 million points instead of 6 million. I don't give a fuck about it's like about that. I put in more than my fair share, as I always do. And it's like, and as a one-time thing, like I took my parents out, they had a good time, I had a good time, and that means more to me than it's like anything on this game. Yeah, exactly. Family means everything. Alright, so I know I said 10 minutes, and I don't want to seem like a hypocrite, but I'm right on the cusp of 700 there. So let's keep going. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the reason why, Sean, like, I won't get into it, obviously, but, like, when you said that you needed some, that you weren't going to be able to do all the showdown stuff, that's why I said, I was like, dude, it doesn't matter, go. I was like, it's like, spend time with your family, dude. I was like, enjoy yourself. And if anybody were to say otherwise, they can, I'm telling you right now, if anybody were, I mean, like, we have a good group, and I mean, like, nobody would do this, but if anybody did give you shit, like, I'm serious, like, I would bitch them the fuck out on that, because they have no right to tell you not to spend time with your family over this game. Yeah, I don't know. I know we talked about it. I'm not gonna grandstand and repeat stuff that we already talked about. But yeah, there's more important things in life than WWE champions. Yeah. Both of my grandparents. So all of my grandparents are gone. So the grandfather on my dad's side passed away when my dad was young, so I never met him. Um, and then my grandmother on my dad's side passed away um, back in the early 2000s. I forget exactly when. And then and then both of my grandparents on my mom's side passed away within a few years of each other, about 8 and 5 years, or respectively. Um, can y'all excuse me for just one moment, please? I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, everything's fine. Just my wife was calling me, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to yell. Everything was fine. Just my wife was just like, "Shams, I'm home. I'm home," and that's why I was just like, I just wanted to run downstairs real quick. Just needed a hand with getting some stuff inside the house. Alright, alright, alright. Where the hell's my mobile dashboard? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, by the way, I think that's awesome that your grandma knows how to use FaceTime and Facebook and whatnot. Alright, I hit the 700 wall. Yay! EC dub, EC dub. Alrighty, I guess we're gonna have to switch back. I was hoping I can get a couple extra points in there.
In opposition to Dracula. Every 100 years, Dracula would rise from his grave, and a Belmont would be there to stop him. This is the story.
Ugh, come on, please, for the love of God, just get these last 10 matches out of the way so I can go enjoy dinner in peace. Thank you, God, for that cascade. Oh yeah, by the way, I was gonna say, so I know I mentioned that all my grandparents are gone. So my dad, when I want to say like recently, like I'll say like maybe in the last year or whatever. So he had a Facebook, and then he just, it's like, and then he didn't use it because he's like, oh, I don't like this. Both my parents aren't, like they know how to use technology, but they're not like the most proficient at it. I mean, obviously they didn't grow up with, computers and shit like I did. Although, like I'm on that cusp. I'm on that cusp of like, it's like there was a time, I grew up at a time where there was the internet, and then I grew up at a time where there is not the, like where the internet didn't exist, at least, like the way that it does now. So my dad. So my dad knows, it's like knows and how to use Facebook and stuff now. But as you would expect, any any older dad, like he just, it's like he loves, like like I said, we're Afghan, so it's like, so imagine like the Afghan version of boomer humor. That's exactly what my dad loves. It's so adorable. And then my mom just doesn't like any of that stuff, period. So she doesn't have Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. But my parents are well versed in FaceTime and some of the other stuff. It's just anything more intricate than that, they need a hand with. Which I'm perfectly happy with. I mean, I'd rather they be able to come to me for help than go to somebody else. All right. Right on the cusp. Come on, let's get this over with. Blocked my blue match there. Could have had this match done this round. Yeah, Big E, I got lucky. So, as you can see with the way I'm grinding out showdowns, I'm not going to grind out 250 matches, but as you've seen, you know, it's like I do my damnedest to get all my matches in. And whenever they had the contest for him, I just got lucky through grinding and the bags of shards and things that they gave out. I was able to get him, and I'm extremely happy I did. I think he's a fantastic character. And also, since I don't have Tech Kofi, anytime that there's a New Day, uh, really? That's weird. I don't know. Is there a way to check? Let me check something real quick. No, I don't want to face any of those people. Come on, easy wins. Alright, yay! That's exactly what I want. Yay, Batista! Dave Bautista, come on, yay! Come on, where kind of... Oh, where the hell is it? Come on. Where's the login button? Oh, there we go. There's my dashboard. Here, let me check something real quick while we're doing this. I don't know. It says here Fishcan has hosted you. You hosted me a while back. About the follow, I don't know. I could. Oh, come on. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking in the right area. I don't know where you can look up who's following you and who isn't. I could have sworn you were. Yeah, yeah, my current faction, you're on the list. We're typically top 50 to top 80 depending on what it is. I'm happy with my faction. I know what you mean, but like uh, definitely having like having a much better faction. And I mean like, and I'm not just talking about rewards. It just makes this game so much more enjoyable. I like I enjoy the people who are in our group. And I'm not just saying that because Sean's here, but although he is a newbie, so it's like there you go. Carmella's invisible, of course. Um, like like my teammates, like it's like okay, again, it's like okay, we're not first place in this, it's like or that, but like I enjoy chatting with them. It's like we talk about wrestling, we talk about like like personal shit that goes on with us, because like have you noticed like especially like I have met the just like like DJ Z and it's like I don't just sit here and talk about like, oh hey, WWE champions this and WWE champions that, for the entire time. Like I enjoy like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's how's this and how's that? I like my group. You know, it's like we talk about like I said, we talk about wrestling. You know, of course, you know this being a wrestling-based game, but you know we talk about other things. Are you in Are you in like uselessness or one of those? I forget what it is. Are you one of the blank and booty factions? Huh. I guess if I really wanted to find out. All right. Yeah. Cool. There you go with a 1.1 million roster. Oh, franchise. Yeah, but like I said, you know, it's like definitely having a fun faction to be in. You know, makes this game so much more enjoyable. I'll tell you right now, like grinding this stuff out. If I had to do it by myself, you know, it's like with nobody to talk to, or you know, it's like pace with and everything. I would be so bored. Team Slam, Xena, yeah. One of my old faction mates used to be in Xena for a while. I think he's in the Booty clan now. Broken Skull 227 or anything like that ring a bell at all for you? All right. Yeah, one of my friends is in uselessness. I don't know if they disbanded or not, but all right, she was talking about like there was like a split or a merge or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this game is so much more enjoyable with people that you like. Yeah, he definitely is. So he's when I say like an old faction mate, so I know I'm talking about you're on the list. So the I've been in two factions the entire time that I've been in this game. The very first faction that I was in, unless there's like some way of pulling it out of some database, I have absolutely zero clue whatsoever what the name was. I have no idea. Don't remember. But basically, like you know, it's like you know, like if you've been playing this game for a very, 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 very long time, like I have. Do you know like one of the old things was always like, hey, join a faction. You know, it's like to get to get points and blah 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 blah. Well, I joined like you know it's like I just went to the faction finder and I was just like, okay, hey, what's a faction that has some people in it? And you know I was going through and I was like, okay, well, you know this faction has you know like 50 people in it. That you know or 60 or whatever the number was. And I was just like, okay, that should be about right, shouldn't it? Like, you know, okay. You know, because I didn't really know as much about this game back then. You know, it's like, and there isn't the wealth of knowledge available like the Haven Guide, like the content creators. You know, it's like Benny and you know Garrison and DJZ and Merrick's and whatnot. So I joined, and you know, like I got to tell you, they literally, like I was just like, hey guys, how's it going? Blah 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 blah. Never responded. 50 something people never responded once. Anytime that I put up a heel, never gave a heel. Never participated in faction feuds, and was like, it's kind of embarrassing because like I was playing, like you know, I'd been playing this game for a couple months, and I had absolutely no idea how faction feuds worked because they literally never did anything. I just thought I was like, okay, well, I guess you set them, and then like they like like the CPU fights kind of like this. So then what happened was there was Farmageddon. Um, it's like where all the fuck Calvin melms, not melms, memes. It's been I've been playing this game for way too long. Where all the memes came from WWE Execution or whatever. It's like in the game shutting down. When I came back, when the game came back like 6 days later, 7 days later, or whatever it was, they gave everybody a poll, and my first 3-star character ever was Striker Rocky Maivia, one of the worst characters in the game. But the thing is, like, at that time, getting the 3-star tokens wasn't the easiest thing in the world. So having a 3-star character, just like I was just like, whoa, there you go. Oh, I'm up here. Whoa. It's like, and then finally, like, it's like I was able to cross some hurdles, and I decided, I was like, okay, well, I know I'm not good enough to be in, like, Grim Creepers or Execution or whatever, but I should be, like, decent enough to be able to get into, like, like one of the, like, the 90 to 100 factions, right? Because, like, their minimums at that time were, well, I couldn't really do much, but at least he's ready for tomorrow. I was like, okay, well, I can't do that, but it's like if their minimum's 100K and I have 100, I was like, maybe the 90 to 100 people will take me. And so when that happened, I sent off some requests to a few people, and what ended up happening was the fine folks at my old faction, Cobra Kai, accepted me, and they were a great group, but they, like, literally right when I got there was when they fell out of the top 100 and they just never recovered. And then, like, Broken Skull and a couple other people left the faction, and like, when I say, like, it's like having your teammates that actually participate and stuff. I tried. It's like there were times, like, under the old scoring system, like, I was scoring 7 million, 8 million points, asking people, hey, it's like, I asked people, I was like, look, join a faction, it's like, join a feud. You don't even have to feud. Just let me get points, it's like, so we can build up, like, it's like, and get a better ranking than like 200 and something. And just, they were uninterested in doing that. What happened was, one of my real life acquaintances and buddies said, hey, there's another group that's looking for people. You interested? And I was like, well, I don't want to leave, but on the same token, like, I don't want to just sit here pissing in the wind, trying to move forward when I can't. So then that's when I made the move to you're on the list, and I've been extremely happy ever since, and it's been about like a year or 2 years now, and it's been great. It's been awesome. One second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna lose this fight because of this. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Oh, god damn it. Look, sorry, I didn't mean to drop the big GD right before Easter. Oh, come on. Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna lose this stupid match because of this. Hey, Ball That Way, thank you for rating. I'm almost done, actually. This is the first raid I've ever gotten. Thank you so much. Evil Stewie, welcome to the group. Welcome. I was hoping my hubris was my downfall. I thought Orton was good enough to beat that that Tozawa, so I could get the last 1500 that I needed. Apparently, I wasn't. Ah, damn it! I should have just finished off the freaking match and called it a day. Okay, that's it. No more screwing around. I am freaking tired. Oh, wrong. Oh, no, it's all good, dude. Yeah, trust me, I lurk a lot in other channels. Okay, this is it. Last freaking match. Last match, and I maxed day one. Let's get some hype going. Come on. If I get the Opengl Error or something right now, I'm gonna yell. I'm just warning that right now. Alright, last fucking match right here, right now. We got it going. Here we go. He's gonna do his rope break to fill up his yellow. Oh, no, he isn't. There we go. Boom. Come on. There we go. Fish can getting the hype in there. Alright, let's go. There we go. Oh dear God, it took 4 fucking hours, but I did it. It's done. It is fucking done. Oh my God. Oh. And here we go. I was sitting here talking about oh my goal is 2 hours. Oh, I did it. Oh God. There we go. Day 1 maxed. Oh, for the love of I think this is the longest that I've streamed in quite some time, which I mean, I'm not oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see, let's press our luck. If this works, we'll just do one more match just for the hell of it. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm not pushing my luck. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I hope that the rest of the stream goes by well for all of you. Ball That Way, thank you so much for the raid. Like I said, I was just right on the cusp of finishing, and I've been on here for about 4 hours now, and I'm done. So, for everybody who's joined me, AK, Fishcan, Humdatwa, Ball This Way, Evil Stewie, everybody, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, it's like this is something that I do for me time, and the fact that I get to share this with all of y'all and have some great conversations about both the game and personal, in the personal life is just fantastic to me. So, as I always say, if you're watching this on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch at IronSheik84, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch for more WWE Champions action. With that, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your Saturday. If you're religious and you observe it, have a happy Easter. If not, enjoy your Sunday off with a bunch of stores closed. I know I'm going to be spending the day at the house not doing much of anything other than finishing off the showdown in the morning. But as I said, regardless of what you believe, what you don't believe, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll catch you at next stream. Have a wonderful night. Bye.